Hi, hope you're having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm giving you my box office breakdown video for this weekend, where I cover Scream's second weekend to tell you whether the movie's a hit or a flop, which is definitely going to be a very interesting thing to discuss. I'm also going to be covering a Spider-Man Home update on its box office, which is definitely getting really crazy out there. So I'm going to be covering that, and then Sing 2's box office, which is also going super strong. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about this video. It's going to be like a kind of like to the point video with each one of these movies, but I hope you enjoyed and I hope you find it very informative, because I definitely try to make it very informative. And if you do end up enjoying it and find it informative, then just make sure to leave a like. It would be very helpful, so please leave a like. As well as subscribe for a lot of other content. I'm going to do a box office analysis video for the month of January next week, and I just did a bunch of box office videos last week about the year, about 2021 and everything. So you can also check out those videos, but subscribe for a lot more box office analysis videos if you're interested into that. And lastly, tell me down in the comments, did you see any of these movies this past weekend? Did you see Scream this past weekend? Did you see Spider-Man Home again this past weekend? Or did you see Sing 2 for the first time this past weekend? I'm definitely curious, so tell me that down in the comments. Okay, now let's get started. Alright, so to start off, I'm going to start talking about Scream. And Scream had an opening weekend last weekend of $30 million domestically, which was good enough, but not great. It was just good enough. It wasn't bad either, but it wasn't like great. It was like a little bit above okay. So that's kind of where the opening weekend was. Then it dropped 59%, earning $12.4 million this weekend for a total of $51.3 million domestically, which was actually pretty good, since most horror movies usually drop above 60%, and most of the time it's in the really high 60s or 70% if it's really bad. So the fact that this was able to stay in the 59% is really good. So really solid hold for this movie. Like I said, the opening weekend wasn't super big, so it couldn't have dropped that much, but still the fact that it didn't get to 60% is pretty impressive. So give the movie props where it needs to have its props, and that was a pretty good goal. So good job, Scream. So this makes the movie the fifth highest horror movie of the pandemic domestically, beating just Old, which Old was pretty badly a failure, which is pretty sad for Old. But that means that this movie is now the fifth highest horror movie of the pandemic, and it's going to keep climbing up for sure. We'll see if it can get to the 100 million. That's the real question. Maybe it's definitely going to be really close. We'll see. Internationally, the movie added $10 million more for a total of $33 million in total internationally, which gives the movie a total box office in general worldwide, domestically and internationally combined, for a total of $84.9 million, which is really good, honestly, for this movie. It's really incredible, honestly, because the movie has a budget of $24 million. So that's like a super low budget, and the fact that it's making this much money is definitely really good. Like, that's a really good sign. Like, there's Spider-Man Home making so much more money, there's Sing 2 making so much more money, but those movies have way bigger budgets, and this movie was just $24 million, which is like super small. So that just goes to show you why Hollywood really likes horror movies, and that's because their budget is super small, and they just make some pretty solid box office numbers that really multiply the budget. So that's great for this movie. It's definitely doing great. This means that Paramount successfully rebooted the franchise, and you can definitely expect to get at least one more movie for the Scream franchise. So definitely expect that. I know it hasn't been made official, but definitely expect that. The money that it's doing is doing really good. The word of mouth for this movie has been pretty good for the most part. So honestly, expect another Scream movie. I think it's just a franchise that just came back and it's here to stay. So that's great for the horror genre. And especially if you like this movie, tell me in the comments if you would want to see another Scream movie. I'm definitely curious, so tell me that down in the comments. Okay, moving on to Spider-Man at Home. And Spider-Man at Home got its #1 spot back again this weekend, where Scream went down to second spot. No, Spider-Man Home got back its first spot, which is really cool. Good job, Spider-Man Home. And oh my god, Spider-Man Home is just a huge hit. It only dropped 30% on its sixth weekend, making $14.1 million, which is just insane. Now the movie has made $721 million domestically, which is really huge. Like, it's really huge. It's the fourth highest domestic movie, if I'm right, which is incredible. Like, really incredible. It looks like it's gonna hit $760 to $770 million in total with these really great holds. So definitely hoping for that, because if it gets over 760 million, then it will beat Avatar to become the third highest movie domestically. So I definitely think it has the potential to get there. That doesn't mean that it will get there. It's going to be really close. It's going to be a really close call. We'll see how much of the great holds can Spider-Man Home keep having. I'm definitely curious. It has one more full weekend without any competition, so we'll see how much money it can get in that weekend now. I'm definitely very curious. I think it can do. I think it can make it, honestly. I think it can beat Avatar domestically. Do you think it can make it? Tell me down in the comments. I'm very curious. Internationally, the movie made $27.7 million, which is really good. It's really good because it's already been out for 6 weeks, like I said. So that's really good. Putting an international total at $970 million worldwide, which is huge. This definitely means that the movie's gonna hit $1 billion internationally, which is really, really amazing, especially when you consider that it made it without China. So that's just so awesome for Spider-Man Home. Like, great job, Spider-Man Home. Overall, the movie has made $1,691,000,000, placing the movie sixth place of all time, which is huge. That is crazy. It just ended up beating Jurassic World and The Lion King, so that's really, really crazy. I don't think it's gonna get to number five, to the fifth spot though, because that's Infinity War, and that's above $2 billion. And this movie doesn't seem like it's gonna get to $2 billion without China. It's not close. It's at, like I said, it's at $1,691,000,000. So it would have to get $309 million more somewhere, and it's already on the 6th week. So it really won't. There's no way it can get there unless China decides to release it. But don't have hope on that. I don't think that they're gonna release it, which sucks for this movie. Like, China could have just boosted those numbers to another level. So that really sucks for this movie to not have a Chinese release date. So it looks like it's gonna have to stay sixth place. It was such a close competition. If China decides to release the movie, this movie's gonna like blow up. So hoping for a Chinese release date, but also being realistic, I don't think it's gonna get one. Sorry. Also, the movie became the seventh highest grossing movie in the UK, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. And it seems like it's gonna keep going up and up and up. Even it might even beat No Time to Die, which came out last year, which made so much money in the UK, and it might even beat that. So that's just crazy. Spider-Man Home is doing so good in the UK. And another international market where this movie is doing so good at is in Mexico, where this is the highest grossing movie ever in Mexico, which is just insane, insane, insane. The Latino audience definitely loves Spider-Man Home, which is crazy. If you want to see more of a breakdown on the different countries, on how much they report to the international box office, check it out. I definitely think you can find some pretty interesting stats in here. Just pause the video and check it out. Okay, now let's move on. But let's still keep talking about Spider-Man, and well, Spider-Man related, and that is going to be Venom 2, which Venom 2 got a re-release last week because Sony wanted to re-release it to have their domestic total beat the original Venom's movie, because it came out down to this close of money. So they were really trying to push for that, and this weekend it did it. It indeed ended up being the originals. Ended up matching the original's domestic box office, which is huge. That is just amazing. In the middle of a pandemic, ended up matching the original's box office. That is amazing. So in its 17th weekend since the movie released, it grossed 175K. So you can see it's not even in the million yet, but that's exactly what it needed. It just needed 175K, which matched the original domestic box office total, which was $213.5 million. So it matched that, and next weekend it's definitely going to beat that. So that's just crazy. Venom 2 has made so much money. Very happy for this movie. I personally really, really enjoyed this movie, so glad that it made more money. Great job. Especially in the middle of a pandemic. That's just amazing and super, super awesome. Alright, moving on to Sing 2, and Sing 2 grossed $5.7 million domestically, dropping only 28.4% on its 5th weekend, which is just insane, insane. So you can see it came out the week after Spider-Man Home, which is why Spider-Man Home has 6 weeks, this one says its 5th week. So these both movies have been doing amazing. In fact, I would even dare say that Sing 2 is the Jumanji of the pandemic era, because it's having some incredible, incredible holds while still going against this super huge juggernaut, which is just insane. Great for Sing 2. I've already seen the movie, and it's an amazing movie. So just great for Sing 2. I'm very happy for it. So with these $5.7 million that it added this weekend, it makes the domestic total at $128.4 million, which is really, really good. That's really amazing. That's the highest animated movie or family movie in general of the pandemic domestically. So that's really good. Also, it beat Ghostbusters Afterlife to become the 9th highest grossing movie of the pandemic in general, which is pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's a really fun fact, and that's super awesome for this movie. Internationally, the movie did another $12.8 million this weekend with a strong $3 million debut on Germany. So that's really cool. It's still debuting on some places, which is pretty cool. This allowed the movie to cross $100 million internationally, where it now stands at $112.8 million at its international box office, which is really, really good. That's another great landmark, and this makes it once again the biggest animated movie internationally. So that's really good for the pandemic. Global box office now stands at $241.2 million, which means it just beat Encanto and Cruella, which is super, super awesome. And great for this movie. It's doing so good, which just proves the point that Disney did the wrong decision with Turning Red. I think they should have definitely put it on theaters, at least for 30 days like they did with Encanto, so it could have made some really good solid box office money and then done really high numbers in Disney Plus. I mean, you saw how much Encanto did. Sing 2 just beat Encanto, so that's just showing to you how big of a hit Encanto was. So I'm pretty sure Turning Red would have been a huge hit on theaters as well, and it would have made some pretty huge money, and then it would have had some great, amazing viewership on Disney Plus, just like Encanto did. I don't know why Disney didn't do that. It's just baffling to me. They just lost so much money, but we'll see if it works out for them. We'll see if they like somehow break a record viewership or something. We'll see if it works out for them. But this definitely proves that so far, I think they made the wrong decision, because Sing 2 is doing a lot of money. So that's great for Sing 2. And so yeah, that's my box office breakdown for this past weekend. As you can see, not a lot of big movies that are making a lot of big money. It really is just like really small movies, kind of the leftovers from December, and then just Scream. Those are the only movies that are here. So pretty dead for January. Morbius was supposed to come out, but they took that off so that Spider-Man Home could have stronger legs, and it definitely seems like that's working out because it's having incredible legs. So that's good for Spider-Man Home, but it's bad for the industry because we don't have any big movies into 2 weeks. So not this following weekend, but the next weekend, where we're Uncharted is going to debut, and then another Paramount movie. So into that, then when we start to get to other bigger competitions, and we can have another really interesting conversation about the box office. But for right now, this is pretty much it. So yeah, that was my box office breakdown for this past weekend. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you found it informative. And if you did, then please do like. It would be very, very helpful. As well, subscribe for a lot of other content. I would be very much appreciated. In fact, I made this really good video that if you want to check it out right here, and where I talk about the 2021 box office breakdown in general, like the whole year, the way the box office was recovered from the very start to the very end. So really interesting video, so check it out. Or you can also check out my other video on the December box office breakdown in this link, where I talk about Spider-Man Home, Matrix 4, West Side Story, Sing 2, and all those other movies a lot more in depth. So I really think you're going to enjoy that video. So check it out, and I definitely think you're going to enjoy it. And lastly, tell me down in the comments, when are you going to the theaters next? So are you planning to see any of these movies next weekend? Like, are you planning to see Scream next weekend? Or are you just going to wait for another big release to come out? I'm definitely curious. So tell me that down in the comments. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is Jeremy Entertainment, out.